Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in below the waistline grooming, since it was on the screen right there. And with that being the case, Deke, let's make sure that we're taking care of our balls this fall. I know it's holiday season. I know you're thinking about that turkey. I love stuffing. But more importantly, Deke, we got to make sure that we keep our lower below the waistline regions looking like dessert, more importantly. And the best way to do that is with that Performance Package 4.0. So you definitely want to check that out and use the promo code, which is MOATS. 20% off, along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. That part of the trade, the William Jackson part, was definitely the part that made me feel like we're still with the right mentality. We're still trying to get after this thing, man. We're still very much invested in this season. When we talk about William, a couple of things. Just turned 30, 7 years in this thing, mainly in Cincinnati. Backstory, we obviously wanted him in 2016. Cincinnati took him right before we did, so we ended up drafting Artie Burns. We saw everything played out in both of those guys' careers and stuff like that. He goes to Washington, 3-year, 41 or 40 something $million contract, and obviously this is a year later. They were ready to move on. Beauty part is this, man. We're only on the hook for like 2.7. I think it's 2.77 million or something, and
I don't know how they work this out.
I have no clue. Yeah.
You look at the spot rack, he has like $12.5 million on his cap hit, and it's a $9 million dead cap. But apparently we have this option after the season.
Yeah.
If we don't want to keep him on the roster, we could cut him and we're scot-free.
Like I said, I do not know how that worked. Even when I did the reaction yesterday, I was just like, it's something with this contract, but I don't know. Yeah, I still don't fully understand.
That's why I didn't want him initially, but apparently we don't have to worry about next year now.
When I saw the news, I was like, not for that cost. But yes, so we're only on the hook for somehow, some way, like 2.7 mil. But in terms of who William Jackson is, the player, good length, I believe he's 6 foot, 180 something pounds, man-to-man corner, good technique in terms of hand placement, rerouting guys, has speed. When healthy, still a really good player. The question is the health part. He's been dealing with a back injury. I think he played 4 games this season so far.
He hasn't played since week 5.
Yeah, since week 5 against, was that the Cow? No, he was full versus the Cowboys. He got hurt the following game. I think it was the Titans maybe. But that was, when you're talking about him as a player, good player still, but not a great player. Like, I think that when healthy at this stage, I like him more than Akello and Levi. I think of him as like a Cam Sutton, but with a outside corner's body. When we think of Cam, man, Cam Sutton's a very smart player, knows where to be, fundamentally sound, will tackle, can reroute guys, ball skills, right? In terms of getting your head around playing the catch point. He does do those things. And that's the thing that I do like about him because of the size and the speed that he has also. But at the same time, it's a reason why, he was available. The injury part, yes, but it isn't as consistent as you would necessarily like it to be. But it is helpful. It's very helpful, especially when you're talking about how much man-to-man defense we like to play here in Pittsburgh, especially this season. And we saw how last game went for us at the cornerback position with the man-to-man stuff. I don't know what Akello was doing last week, bro. I went and watched it again, bro. I'm looking at his technique versus when I see Pierre and even Edmonds, and I'm just like, why are you playing it like I get it, I don't get it. Maybe he was rusty. I'm hoping it was rusty because I was like, yo, you're setting yourself up for bad things. Like
last 2 games haven't been too promising for Witherspoon.
Yeah, bro.
It's almost like going back to the whole 49ers story a little bit. Lockdown for 6 to 7 weeks, and then we're having these stretches where I'm scratching my head.
I felt bad, like I'm watching him on tape, and I'm just like, yo, I don't like. Why are you doing this? You're letting this dude kind of free release. You playing back hip, and then you're not even attacking the catch point until it's too late. I'm like, man, but then you watch Pierre. Pierre's playing it like how James Bradbury played us. Hands, shuffle, and stays on top of us, even though we know we're faster, or even though in certain cases they're faster than Pierre because of his body position, because of his hand placement. It's like, yo, you give yourself a chance. With Akello, I'm just like, yo, what are you, like, you're not giving yourself a chance. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage and hoping that you're going to out-athlete this guy, so to speak. And I'm just like, I don't agree with that too much, man. So with that being the case also, it's like, I really like this move because you're going to get a veteran presence. Like we talked about, outside of Cam Hayward, and Cam Sutton. We really don't have the guys that have been here through
And this
some
dude
of the
feels like
success.
he's got the dog in him too.
Yo, absolutely. But he's also, I mean, he's an AFC North type of dude. We don't rock with Cincinnati dudes like that, but we know.
Battled with AB.
Yeah, but it's my thing. It's like, yo, we know AFC North ball and that culture and what it is. So it's like he's very familiar with that. And when you talk about the physicality that he plays within the running game, it shows, it's reflected, because that's something you got to do in the AFC North. You got to tackle. And he does do that. Like I said, I like his game when he is healthy. I just don't know how healthy he is right now. And that's another concern. Because it's like, man, you don't sign a guy to a 3-year for 40, and then a year later you're trying to move on from him mid-season. And that's part of why, when it's not as consistent as you would want, the health isn't what you would want it to be. These are the things that you kind of deal with at times, man.
Well, did you hear what Rivera said?
I did not all the way. No, I did not all the way.
He was like, we thought Jackson initially was going to be able to fit into our scheme, even though we play a lot of zone.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be able to work with the match coverage.
Yeah.
And he was like, it wasn't a fit. That's basically what it came down to. He's like, William Jackson's a really good corner, but it didn't work for us, so we wanted to give him the opportunity to go to a team that could utilize him better.
No. I mean,
you ain't buying it.
I hear him. I really ain't buying it. I hear him, though. I hear him. I don't know. When I watch it on tape, I ain't get that feeling. I wasn't feeling, oh, yeah, man, he's just, they're using it wrong. It's like, no, I think that
that is one of his knocks, though, the zone coverage. Now, match is kind of like a combo of both, right?
Because match is like, man.
Right.
It's man. Especially how we play it and how he likes to play it. I don't like him when he has to play off. And at times when they ask him to play off, that is where he struggles at. When he's allowed to play on and he can get hands on and be physical and do that, I like his game a lot. I like him way more on than off.
Well, let's just do that.
Well, that's how we play ours, typically. Yeah, the only person, like every once in a while, we'll alternate, like how we want to do it. Sutton alternate. I've seen Pierre alternate in terms of on versus off and stuff like that. But yeah, I personally, I think William Jackson, one of those dudes, like press. We talk about James Pierre. I love James Pierre when he's pressed. I don't want him off coverage where he has to be an athlete. I want him pressed where he can force the action, get hands on guys, and let his technique kind of really help him out. And when I think William, I think the same way. Like when I see him pressed up, when he gets hands on guys, he can guard a ton of these dudes. Got the size, got the speed. When he's off and it's like, hey, trust your eyes, beat a better athlete, whose feet are better. I don't like that because I think of like Joe Hayden. When Joe first came here, Joe could do that. Then when Joe, down the line, I was like, all right, Joe, you need to get your hands up here, reroute. Don't know how to athlete him. Don't trust your feet like that. Just do it the old school way, For William, I'm like, you're there now. You need to be hands on, play that game like that. But I think he will help us though.
Yeah, I was excited about this one, even though last week I was not for trading him because I initially saw that they were just going to cut him anyway because they couldn't find a trading partner. That's when I got excited. I'm like, okay, Steelers, look into this now. Yep. You don't have to deal with his contract. But then, like an hour later, I saw that the Steelers are making a move for William Jackson. I figured, like, man, they worked out this contract situation because there's no way you're trading for a dude that they were going to cut anyway and taking on his $12.5 million cap hit for next year.
They definitely worked that out.
Somehow. I don't know.
I still don't
know if I believe it.
I do not know how that deal got done.
I feel like we're going to have some dead cap from William Jackson next year.
Don't you say that.
I just have that feeling.
Well, I mean, hopefully he ball out and then we could just, proceed forward with him. I don't know what that's going to look like.
Either way, if we're going to keep him around, we're going to restructure something.
100%, sure. 100% have to.
It's either we cut him, bring him back on like a 1 or 2 year deal, or we just restructure what he's got.